Welcome to Breakfast with Spaniels with Dr. Judy Morgan.
I can't watch them. I have to read off of
Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. From Coburg. Nice place. Probably cooler there than here. So it was unbearably hot and humid here yesterday. And Hugh said we had to go to the bank to get something notarized. And Hugh said, let's walk. It's only a couple blocks. I said, okay. Except I forgot to change out of my work clothes. So I had on long pants and sneakers and a t-shirt and blocked down the road. I said, man, I should have put on shorts and sandals. Like, that was not very bright. Let me tell you, blue jeans, not the best thing for hot and humid. They're really hot and humid. Anyway, but it's going to be just as bad today. And I know a lot of you are under this same warning, which is just not so much fun. And sad news, one of our chickens passed away yesterday early evening. She looked pretty heat stressed on Sunday afternoon in the chicken pen. We let them out yesterday afternoon, and she was burrowed down in the sand under a shade tree, which is where they kind of all were hanging out yesterday. But she didn't come in, and I went and carried her in, and I sat her down, and she was just really lethargic and panting heavily. And I guess she was a victim of heat. I don't really know. Chickens do get egg bound, but I don't know how you would know one is egg bound unless you saw them straining. And when you have 8 chickens and they lay usually 6 eggs a day between them, anywhere from 4 to 7, rarely do we get 8. It would be hard to know if you had one that was egg bound. So I don't know. I don't know as much about chicken medicine as I should. That was one of those joke classes in school because none of us were ever going to go into chicken medicine. And now here I am. So yeah, Nanny was very sad, but it was one of our Rhode Island Reds. So cooler there in Michigan. The humidity finally went and it's headed our way. That's good. So, okay. Then when I got up this morning, people around the world send me things very nicely to let me know what's going on. So we got one piece of good news and one piece of bad news. Now let me figure out where the good news was. Oh, I think it's in the same thing. Yes. So the good news came from Patty Winter. From the Does Brevecto Kill Dogs, or whatever the name of the group is now. It says there was a post on the group a few days ago about where Merck lost their appeal to a higher court to keep several toxicity clinical trials from being seen after several years of court cases and trying to keep them suppressed. It was ruled on January 22nd, 2020, that all their arguments were rejected and the toxicity studies were to be released. Now to see if we really get down to see the originals or get to see the originals or watered down versions. Yeah. So it would be nice. I mean, we could do a Freedom of Information Act to try to get them. Maybe, but it takes months to years to get that information. So yay, that's a win in our corner. They're supposed to show us the toxicity trials, which might actually show us how many animals really died and what they really did to study. And just remember that all of the studies that these guys do, the people doing the studies are biased, that they're being paid by a company to prove that a drug is safe and effective, blah, blah, blah. But then I got this. Come on. Merck Animal Health receives US FDA approval of Bravecto monthly chews. Now remember, Bravecto is the one that's every 3 months. But no, now it's going to be available as a monthly for dogs and puppies 8 weeks of age and older. So this is to fill that gap between 8 weeks and 6 months, because I guess you're not supposed to start the 3-month product until they're 6 months old. So now we've got a monthly product. And they also just, Merck bought the brand name Sentinel and Sentinel Plus. So right now we get free puppy packs in our office from the makers of HeartGuard and NexGuard. And so every puppy potentially can be given a free gift of a dose of NexGuard and a dose of HeartGuard. And now I know we're going to get packs with a dose of Sentinel or Sentinel Plus and a dose of Bravecto puppy. In our office, it all just gets thrown away. So I tell my office manager not even to accept it. But half the time, if we order boxes of Interceptor or Sentinel, then these puppy packs come automatically. But I see it all the time. New people with new puppies that don't know any better about these products, they get the free gift. And like I said yesterday, there was a puppy that they got their free gift and gave the NexGuard, and the puppy now has uncontrollable head tremors. So they're talking about how now it's going to be so easy to transition from the monthly product to the longer acting product once they hit 6 months old. It kills fleas and ticks. And when you combine it with the Sentinel, you get, fleas, ticks, intestinal parasites, heartworms. Wow, better living through chemicals. Think I've heard that somewhere before. So on July 2nd, they announced their completion of the product acquisition of the US rights to Sentinel and Sentinel Plus. So it says Bravecto chews and Bravecto topical solution for dogs are safe for pregnant, breeding, and lactating dogs. Really? Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Bravecto chews side effects. This is where I have a huge problem. Side effects may include vomiting, decreased appetite, diarrhea, lethargy, excessive thirst, and flatulence. Anybody hear anything about could cause seizures, tremors, neurologic disease, or death? That's supposed to be on the label. It's not. They changed it basically to say, don't use it or use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures and neurologic disorders. No, it really is supposed to say that side effects may include seizures, tremors, neurologic disorders, and death. Not on there. Not on there. Bravecto topical solution for cats. Side effects may include vomiting, itching, diarrhea, hair loss, decreased appetite, lethargy, scabs, ulcerated lesions. Use with caution in cats with a history of neurologic disorders. Oh yeah, nothing about seizures. Bravecto Plus for cats 6 months of age and older. Side effects may include vomiting, hair loss, itching, diarrhea, lethargy, dry skin, elevated ALT, it's the liver enzyme, and hypersalivation. Use in caution with cats with a history of neurologic disorders. Use with caution in cats that are heartworm positive. Why? Thank you, Merck. Thank you so much. And I think I saw something in here. What did I say, Hugh? That they've sold 124 million doses since it came on the market in 2014. And I mean, we have tens of thousands of reports of side effects, but the biggest problem is that when your pet starts having seizures, weeks to months after you give these drugs, they accept no responsibility and they say it cannot possibly be related to the drug. The two dogs that I got reports of this week, both veterinarians said, no way can those head tremors be related to the giving of NexGuard. Seriously? Read the stupid insert, read the product information, and pay attention to what's going on. Let's see. This news release includes forward-looking statements within the meaning of the safe harbor provisions. Really, no guarantees with respect to pipeline products that the products will receive the necessary regulatory approval so that they will prove to be commercially successful. Well, they're commercially successful. That's why we keep selling them. 124 million doses at, I don't know, $30 to $50 a dose. Somebody can do the math. It's a shit ton of money. Daggone lot of money. Follow the money. Follow the money. So, yep, I'm going to kill some more dogs. Now we're going to kill puppies instead. So happy. So happy. Okay, everybody have a wonderful day.
Well, you've shared so much good news with them.
I do. I share. It was such a good news day. If Sentinel was bought, are they going to change the formula? I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Yeah, we definitely toss it out. Just because something's free doesn't mean I'm going to use it. Have I ever seen a high temp in a dog after a dose of Interceptor Plus? Sure, that's a possibility.